Hey YouTube, it's Mike Penn Gangster, and today we want to talk about probably one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people do in Path of Exile. At least I've done it. I'm pretty sure I would if I have to make a bet. I'm pretty sure like 90% of us has done this mistake, probably even 100%. To be honest with you, we gamble with currency when we see items that we believe they're good. For example, like if you look at boots and you see increased movement speed, you automatically believe that, oh, whoa, okay, well, then I need to gamble here. I need to basically use my currency and try to make this item better. This is the problem, okay? The number one problem is gambling on an item that is not an item that you understand. And what I mean by understand, if you're gambling on items based on your character, then you know what you're gambling because you know what your character is looking for, because you played the character, you understand your character, you understand what kind of stats you're looking for. But for example, just because you see something on an item, you automatically believe, oh, well, okay, well, this has increased speed, it has chaos resistance, which apparently is very, very good at high levels, and it's got pretty high intelligence, so most likely maybe a caster would like this. It's got a bit of an energy shield on it. Also, maybe I should gamble on this item and use some of my currency, and maybe eventually I'll end up selling it, right? Wrong answer. If you don't play the class, you don't understand the classes, like besides your class, do not take an item of a class that you're not playing, that you don't understand, and gamble your currency on it, okay? Because most likely you're going to be wrong and it's not worth what you think, and you're going to end up spending way more currency. For example, like spending stuff like a regal orb or an exalted orb, which is probably one of the biggest orbs that people trade with the most. And you're going to end up like basically just consuming them for no reason, which the item that you're probably gambling on is probably not going to be worth not even one exalted orb. Okay, so don't just gamble because you think it's an item that you think someone would want to use. Now, on the other hand, if you do get an item, for example, that your character uses, for example, I play a monk, so I use a quarterstaff, and I know, for example, expert is the highest version of the quarterstaff, whatever of the rares. So I recommended, like recommended. I basically decided to basically put an exalted orb on this item. Now, unfortunate, when I did, I ended up not rolling exactly what I wanted. Now, doesn't mean the item itself was bad. It still has a few T3s and two T4s. It does have potential to be decent still. You can still try to gamble here, but you would need, for example, like one of these over here, which I don't have, which would give me the opportunity to basically, you know, if there's a particular a fixed area I don't like, gamble and hope that if I do that, maybe it's gonna switch it. Or I could go ahead and use an exalted orb and put a fifth a fix on it and see if I get the one that I want. Now I would like to have the one that gives you physical damage, but then again, is it worth it right now by looking at the weapon? I'm not exactly sure. So I wouldn't gamble on this item, even if it would be an item that I know very, very well. For example, when I look at my own particular weapon, I know what I'm looking for. For example, this is what I have on my weapon. Again, it's not a perfect weapon, but it's a pretty decent weapon. But then again, I'm not exactly sure how much that one that I'm doing, if it has potential to actually at least sell for a decent amount of like currency, at least more currency than what I'm going to be spending on it. So that's the most important thing you got to look at. I personally recommend people not gambling this game and actually learning the trading system. For example, when you go to the exchange market here, if you're looking for particular items, like for example, like a chaos orb, okay, so that's the item that gives you that that gives you that opportunity to basically switch to basically gamble on another modifier. So it's gonna basically oh my god, remove a random modifier and give it a new one, which is right now going for 2 exalted orbs for one of these, right? So whenever you want to gamble, you got to remember, every time you're doing one of these, it's costing you 2 of these. If you understand the market, you know, for example, sometimes these actually sell for like under the ratio for 2 to 1. Sometimes it sells for even as low as, I've seen as low as 1.8, but I've also seen it as high as like 2.2, for example. So if you understand the market very well and you look at the market as you play pretty often, you can actually trade with the currency, and it's very, very easy to trade with a currency. But before you start trading with currency, I would recommend looking at it and understanding when it's low and when it's high, so you know when to purchase and go all in on a particular currency that you know that later on during the day or whatever, like let's say for example, like let's say 193 will be a low market for a chaos orb, and you're like, you know what, I got like 120 exotic orb, let me buy 60 something chaos orbs and wait for later on tonight when these chaos orbs are going to be like 2.1, and you're going to end up making more exotic orbs back, right? So exchanging currency, like being a trader for like, you know, like real life, basically understanding the market. Once you understand the market, you know how to trade, right? And that's what's good about this game, is you don't pay basically besides gold for currency. So it's not like there's a penalty for you to like actually trade currency, besides if you know, don't follow it correctly and understand when it's low and when it's high. So you don't have to trade with the chaos orb, you could trade with other different currencies. I'm just giving you guys an example. So when people ask me what I recommend people doing, I recommend people actually trading with the currency, understanding when it's low, selling when it's high, you know, like buying low, sell high. I think that's probably the best way for you to become very, very wealthy in this game. I would recommend people only gambling on items that they really understand, and items that they know their class would, you know, want to have on their character, and not assume that, oh, I think maybe you know, a wizard would want to use this. No, don't do that, because you're most likely going to be wrong, and you're going to end up like losing currency for no reason. Again, there are moments that it's worth to gamble. For example, I got extremely lucky with my body armor here. As you can see, very, very good body armor. I've been looking at the market. I personally believe I could sell this for anywhere between 5 to even as high as 10 divine orbs, which that would be like, you know, anywhere between like, let's say 300 to maybe even close to like 600 exotic orbs. Okay, I really believe it has the potential to actually sell that high. The reason for that, it's got extremely high invasion. It's got the sockets are in for the 40% increased armor. It's got the quality all the way to 20, because I put that. It's got what I want on an item. For example, it's got the evasion, it's got the increased invasion, it's got the spirit, it's got even reduced attribute requirements, which whatever, it's okay, nothing special. Probably that would be one that I wouldn't mind trading for health or something. But it also has 2 types of resist on it. One of them, of course, is cold, and the other one is chaos, and 19% on chaos. It's a T4, pretty decent. It's something that high level people actually need if they're pushing for I tiers. So I know, for example, like this is a good chess piece for me that I got lucky with. But then again, I've done it with a item that I know my character would use. So I gambled on something that I believe that was something that I understood, right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, follow the market, follow the currency market, maybe even trade on the market for itself for items. I feel like this game here, if you're really good at trading, you really understand the market, you could definitely get some pretty amazing buys, and eventually you'll become so wealthy that you can gamble as much as you want all day long, because you'll have so much wealth in this game if you just learn how to trade and make a lot of currency. The game could be extremely fun, and let me tell you, you'll end up buying the best possible gear for your character, because, well, you know, you'll be so wealthy. You know, you'll be what Elon Musk is in real life in Path of Exile. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. Have a good day.